Another thing we can put in utilities, which I often like to do, is we'll call it tasks. I like to call them user stories or things like that. But what we will do is put the international checkbox so everyone understands what this is. It's also going to be a database, and we can also make it as a board. And it'll be similar to the projects board. And so we can do new database, we can delete these bogus tasks again, and great, because I started with a board, it's given me statuses, which is pretty nice. So here, let's make it here. We're gonna complete recording this video, which seems like a thing I'm going to do. So that's in progress. And if we just pop in here, we can go and play around with the statuses. We could add in whatever we want. And then, as always, we're going to add in the relationships with projects 2 ways, and with areas 2 ways. And so what this is going to create is an interconnected tasks. Okay, there is something I am doing wrong with this icon thing here. I must be doing it before I click on the page. And so here, now we have tasks, and we could even favorite this and bring it up here. And so now we have quick access to these databases that aren't like technically part of Para. Tasks are like a child of projects, but areas also have tasks. So putting it in one or the other is weird. And there's this kind of oddity of flow between projects, areas, and how tasks work. So I find putting notes and tasks on the side just solves the whole thing. And so there's that. Now, there's another little thing that I like to do. It's a fun visual trick. So I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to call it, that didn't work out. Let me try again. I'm going to call it a series of underscores. Okay. And then it's going to be empty with icon. And for the icon, what I'm going to do, which I hopefully still have, is I actually screen captured just like a square of this background over here. And what I'm going to do is hopefully find that. What was it called? It was called empty frame. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna make that empty frame, which feels a bit silly, but what does this do? It's just like a hack to create a little visual separator where if you're in light mode, you can screen cap the screen in light mode. So there's that. So now we have projects, areas, we have our utilities separate, we have notes and tasks. Coming back to the tasks, it occurred to me that another thing we're going to want to do is subgroup, because we're in the board, and we could do a few views, right? We can group by areas, we can group by project. I really like grouping by areas. Just here, we'll put this manual. So one of the reasons I like doing that, and you can see it's taking a second to load, maybe because of the screenshot, is that then you end up with a task view. Here it is. Here you end up with a task view. Okay, that has no areas. But if I go to add a group, I can say here Notion client, and then, Notion content, and put it here. And I can add another group for ABC Corp just because there are no tasks yet. That's why it's not appearing. And so under there, I could add launch the first project. These are fake tasks. Hopefully you won't hold me to the format too heavily. Now, Notion's done another super cool thing where you can actually just hit edit, and actually you see I can edit like who it's assigned to over here. And if you want to change which properties are showing on any of your board views, you can just go here to properties, and then status we don't need on this. This is by area, so we don't need to see areas, but project would be pretty useful. So we can put that in there. There we go. And then soon it's gonna update, probably. Did I do that right? Okay. I wonder if I did that. Let's try one more time. Properties, 3 shown. One of them is project. Does this not have a project? That could be why. Yeah, of course, because I made this in the area ABC Corp, but without a project. So I would love for Notion to add inheritance so that I could say like project is a child of areas, so that any child of projects automatically inherits areas. I hope Notion's listening. Now, to be fair, there is no software that I know of that has released such amazing like quality of life features in the past 6 months. So I really believe they'll do it. Whereas with a lot of softwares, you go, we'll just hold our breath. Okay, so this was, I don't know, yeah, sure, that was the first project. So there we are, we have this project here. If I were going to actually give it an icon because visual things. That's funny. Launch, so rocket or something, or yeah, rock, that's not the right one. Here, wall, climbing a wall could be appropriate. Okay, so there we have it. So obviously if I expanded this out, we can get a much nicer kind of looking view and get more depth into it, but this is the basics. Okay, so now let's talk about adding in our resources section. That one's gonna be like pretty straightforward. So again, we're gonna do a table. Actually for resources, table can be a pretty good view, but nah, we'll do gallery. It's just a little nicer. And I find it's a bit easier to read. So this is oh man, come on fingers, resources. There it is. So great, we'll delete these guys again, and then we can start with what properties we need. So actually, I do want to use tags. Let's pause for 1 second. We're gonna go to utilities. We're gonna add a new library, tags, a new database, as you wish. Table. Okay, now this is only gonna have one field. 2 fields, I guess, if you, here, hold on, new database, 2 fields. So one is gonna be the name, and then the other is going to be, hold on, let's get all our labels in place so everything comes out nice. Tags has a really nice tag icon. Okay, so we have tags, we have no icon for resources yet, so we're gonna do that. I like to use that filing cabinet or a folder or whatever. So folder, that's not the one. Drawer? No, file, yeah, that one. Okay, so this is resources, we have tags. So now from either side, we can go and add, that's gonna add a new view. So let's add a property. Here we'll just delete this. Oops, I keep right clicking. I can't remember if that works in the app, but I'm actually in the web browser. Now, it's a nice trick to use the web browser to have shortcuts to different workspaces rather than having to always open things through the app. Coming back to this, so we're gonna add a relationship to tags, and it's gonna be 2 ways. And so we'll add that. And now we've created a tagging system, so just so we can categorize notes. So this will be note about Notion, I don't know, something. That's not a note. Notion resource. There you go. And then what tag is it? There are tags. Okay, let's go clean that up. But first we'll Notion. If you want, you could do Notion tag just so that when you look it up, you see it, but usually you'll be in the tags field, so it shouldn't matter too much. So there we go. We add the tags, and then when we look in the tags database, and we delete these 3 entries it gives us here. So now we have Notion resources. And if I were to make another resource, Notion thing 2, you can see I'm going a little bit fast here. Then we have that. And then if I create a new tag and call this, I don't know, para, let's say, and then we create a resource, para1, you can see I'm going quickly with this just to make the point to you. Of course, I would go and add icons to all my tags. We'll just leave that out for right now. So subscribe, give us a like, and reach out or drop a comment if you have questions. Thank you for watching.